This administration has really had to pivot from some of the policies of the previous administration, the Biden administration. And I want to talk to you about a New York Post report that says this: the Biden administration funneled at least $20 billion into environmental groups, most of which had only recently been founded. The Post reported. In one case, former Vice President Kamala Harris handed over a check for nearly $7 billion to Bethesda, Maryland. It's a Climate United fund based there, which does not appear in the IRS's charities database, doesn't have any federal filings. All of this attributed to the New York Post. Do you have a comment on that, Administrator?
Yes, the entire pot of $20 billion worth of grants have all been canceled. It's now in litigation. I canceled these grants easily when I made the review and saw the self-dealing and conflicts of interests, when I saw the unqualified recipients, when I realized just how much there was reduced agency oversight by design. And all 8 of the entities, just 8 entities receiving $20 billion, they were all pass-throughs. And in many cases, they were giving money to other pass-throughs. And you can ask me all sorts of basic questions about where the money goes once it passes through those first 8. And it's crazy how little I would be able to answer as far as accountability over that money. That is not what the taxpayers want. They want a zero-tolerance policy for any waste and abuse. And that's why we canceled these grants.
Sure. Can I pivot to how the EPA could also be working alongside DHS? Alligator Alcatraz, sir, is in the news because there are some environmental groups that claim that this migrant detention center could be impacting the wetlands where it's located. It also could hurt the endangered species and undo decades of Everglades restoration. Have you had a chance to look into this, and do you believe that those claims are accurate?
Listen, there are people who are out there in groups who want to stop the president's agenda all day, every day, at any cost. They want to find some friendly activist judge in some district court somewhere in America. They just want to slow down the president's agenda. We have to forge ahead. They might try to find some new creative way to stop President Trump's top priority of securing this country. And to make sure that people who are in this country illegally, who should be removed, there are people who want to stop that. And President Trump wants to protect Americans. He cares about those families that have been victimized by people illegally here. He cares about those American families and kids who have been victimized by fentanyl that's come across the border. It's not just about people coming illegally, but also things. And we at EPA are not going to play along with any of these efforts to block any aspect of President Trump's top priorities. The first 200 days of the Trump presidency have been amazing. They've been phenomenal. Americans all across this country are proud of this president, this team that he's put together, and all of these wins. We are going to do our part to make sure it continues, not stops.
I want to let you go. I do have to ask you about this. CBS News, CNN, and several others are reporting about the turbulence that we've seen with airplanes, with commercial airliners. But they're attributing turbulence now to higher temperatures and climate change. Has this come across your desk? Turbulence is due to higher temperatures?
Listen, this is crazy, and it just that doesn't pass any smell test for even the average layman in this country experiencing delays. Constant excuses as to why there are all sorts of delays, and the idea that we're just going to package it into this narrative that it's all due to climate change is just so irresponsible. And I'm not surprised by it, but once again, on this topic, we're not going to play along.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.